Hi, and welcome to Beer Grilled Skinny, where a mother-daughter team embraces the random. And let me tell you about some of the random. I'm not talking that loud, but the mic picks up everything I say, and Mom sounds like she's whispering, even though she's not. It's very strange. Don't you think that's strange?
Not. I'm not whispering. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Oh, for those of you who don't remember the Verizon commercials, that's a throwback to that. We're going to continue our brief series on all the many jobs that we did over the years.
Yeah.
I think we're up to when you purchased an accounting firm.
Yeah.
From an evil, evil woman.
Yeah, talk about a crook.
She was a crook. And my favorite part about this story, okay, we screwed up, we didn't get a lawyer, we bought it, then she stole back all the clients, and we thought we were going to get dirt on her, even though I don't know why she had file cabinets in our facility.
Oh, because I bought the clients, and they were client files.
But we didn't have access to them.
How did you get into that one?
Well, I did this little thing called lock picking.
Oh. Well, it would have been just like her to not think that we were those kind of people, you know.
And just so y'all know, I'm not like great at lock picking, but this was one of those old-timey file cabinets where all you had to do was stick in like a, what do you call those things?
Crochet needles?
No. I used a paper clip, and I think I don't know, I was an 80s kid. It was still the 80s, and I just went for it. I have no idea if I had some skills or if it was just a case of not being a very good file cabinet. But we got it open. I remember this story very distinctly. We got it open. You were looking through the files. We were trying to find something on her because we already knew she was stealing all the clients back. And she rolls up. It's nighttime, mind you. Yeah. She rolls up, and I run outside and say, "Hey, it's so good to see you. Have a look at our new car." While Mom is busily trying to close the file cabinet and pretend like we weren't doing anything. Ultimately, we didn't win.
No, we didn't. I think part of that, number one, it was actually a calling on our life to be doing that. It's just another one of me thinking I could do something. But I learned that she didn't have any compunctions whatsoever about letting illegals into the country and run them through a Mexican restaurant. She had no compunctions about allowing her clients to not tell all about their business so they could have cash coming in on the side. Just so much of that I didn't know. These were the kind of clients I bought, but I didn't know.
I know. I think your biggest mistake was we thought we couldn't afford a lawyer. Never go into business like this without getting a lawyer first to read the contract.
Didn't have anything to do with affording him. Dad had said, don't ever do business with a lawyer. All you need is a handshake deal.
Okay, so well, your dad wasn't very bright.
He came from a different time. But for me, I feel like he had made a decision about lawyers that were not right. Because there are good lawyers. I'm thankful for them.
To be fair, he did end up in prison before he ever even got to defend himself.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
He was involved in juvenile behavior, and the two guys he was doing it with sold him out, and he got convicted before he ever had a chance to defend himself. Happily, he met this wonderful jailer that took him under his wing and really guided him to a better life.
Yeah, he really did. It was slow taking hold of everything that man taught him, but the warden of the prison. But,
warden, jailer, same difference.
because Dad continued to get into some trouble.
As we now know.
Yeah. Well, I have the article from the newspaper, from the Waynesboro News.
I understand that because I did a bunch of research for you.
So he was driving drunk one Friday night and hit this guy and killed him, who was on the road, he was walking, but he was also drunk. And Dad went to jail, and he had to pay quite a pretty penny to get out on bond. And obviously, he didn't end up in prison again, so it made a difference.
What made a difference?
Made a difference from that point on, because, he was married.
Well, yeah, and she said that we're done with the alcohol.
Yeah.
That's the end of that.
He walked in the house and watched her pour it down the drain, and she said, it's either me or that. And he loved her.
It's interesting. I think it was a little bit more than that. I don't think she liked him going out.
Oh, I'm sure she didn't.
With the guys.
Going, to the honky tonks, of course.
I mean, isn't this the same place where your aunt got arrested for walking down the road in short shorts?
Oh, Waynesboro. That was it.
But, I mean, she tried to go into the bar.
She tried to go into the pool hall, which was men only.
You mean the bar?
Well, I guess there could have been a bar in there. I don't know. You're probably right.
Nobody goes and plays pool without drinking.
True.
Ever.
True.
Anywhere. And if you do, it's just because you're a professional and you're trying to win a competition. So back to the actual... I'm not that interested in your dad. Back to the thing about running the accountant firm.
Yeah.
When we realized this was a big mistake.
Yep.
And we needed to get out of it. My favorite part was we decided to take this... We were moving to California, y'all. And this was from southern Georgia. The south side of Atlanta, to be more specific. And we decided we couldn't take everything with us, and we couldn't fit everything in storage. So Mom had this, I'd say 6x4 foot piece of glass on the dining room table.
Yeah.
And we thought it would this was so petty, and I'm so not sorry. But we took it over there, and we dropped that thing right in the middle of the parking lot so she could just suffer.
What we had done was that we had taken our dining room table in for a conference table and had that top on it. And then we had Mom's dining room table to replace it at the house.
Oh, I don't remember that at all.
So, anyhow, hasta la vista, baby. We were gone.
And we got to California, and so thus begins the era of temp work.
And let me just tell you, I loved the Blues Brothers, and we were on a mission from God.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that part. We got there, and we didn't have the money to bring the stuff in storage out, so we got there with no furniture and a very unhappy cat. We slept on the floor of this apartment. We might have told part of this story before, but now it's more in context. We got temporary jobs. I got a temp job at Warner Brothers with this music company. I really enjoyed it, but it was truly... This was back in the day when temporary meant you came in to fill in for someone who was on vacation. Yeah. It wasn't, we're just going to make you temporary so we don't have to give you any benefits or actually pay you a decent wage. My favorite temporary job in California was, and this is in retrospect, it wasn't my favorite at the time, but so I went to work for this fellow named Robert Singer. That was how he was introduced to me. He's commonly known as Bobby Singer. And those of you that like the show Supernatural, that's why Bobby is named Bobby Singer. He's named after that writer and executive producer who, at the time when I was working for him, this was a legit temp job. His receptionist / assistant was off on a 2-week vacation. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh, this is going to be my big shot. And he won't even talk to me. He wouldn't even talk to me. I think he might have been an introvert or perhaps too many women had thrown themselves at him, which I certainly wasn't doing. But the thing that stands out to me, this was on the Warner Brothers backlot, and I get this phone call, and this very polite young man says, "Hi, this is Mark Harmon. Can I speak to Bobby?" And so I pause and silently squeal. I don't squeal for real because you're not supposed to do that, but I was a big fan of Mark Harmon. This was during the 80s when he had done a bunch of movies way before NCIS. And so then I push the little button and I go, "I have Mark Harmon on the line for you." I can't believe I accomplished that with such a calm voice. And so he's like, put him through. And I just sat there for the rest of the day going, oh my God, I'm on the Warner Brothers lot with, I didn't really know Robert Singer at the time. Man, it would have been a whole different story if I had ended up temping for him after Supernatural started.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be, I'm not interested in a career, dude. I just want to meet the guys. So it's interesting the things that happen. You were working for some furniture store in a mall, way back when we had like malls.
Yeah.
Proper malls.
Yeah, and you don't have a lot of people come into a furniture store, so I spent a lot of time just like gazing around, dreaming about the future.
Well, yeah, that was how bored I was in the nail shop that I worked in Georgia.
Yeah.
And eventually you decided you would go to the temp agency and say, this is the industry I want to work in. And they were able to plop you right in there.
I know. I've given that advice to a lot of young people because there is a path, and I found the path, and I found that path. I didn't find the path I wanted, but boy, did I have an opportunity all those years out there to grow up.
It ultimately led to working at Disney. We both worked at Disney, and I remember when I got hired on permanent at Disney, and then literally a month later, on my birthday, mind you, they decided to license out that particular division just completely out of the company. So after that, my only option was going back to temping. Meanwhile, you got hired on as an accountant.
Yeah, I did. I also got, lost a bet, so ended up taking some acting classes, and so I started picking up some jobs as an extra. Worked on Ally McBeal. I worked on a lot of shows, actually.
Yeah, we're name dropping because it was exciting for us, not because anything actually happened as a result of it. When she was on Ally McBeal, she got to do a scene with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
And it was just walking up and down the street, and she never actually interacted with him. She got to watch him get assaulted by a woman.
Yeah, he was standing right next to me, and we were both very friendly, and I was appropriate.
Oh, I guess you did interact with him.
I was appropriate enough to not engage him in conversation because,
you were just standing there, yes.
Yeah, we'd smile at each other, and this woman...
He's such a sweetheart.
...walked up and dumped water on him just so she could feel him up. And, I'm so sorry. And so somebody led her away, I suspect, right off of the lot. And he said, I need a dry coat. Somebody got him a dry coat, and on we merrily went. And the only thing you could see when the show was finished was the back of me at this gorgeous winter cape.
That's okay. My favorite one was when you were on ER.
Yeah.
And it was, for those of you who watch ER, there was this period when Dr. Carter was struggling with addiction as a result of something bad that happened to him. It was a very fair addiction, let's put it that way, painkillers.
No, it was alcohol. We were at the Alcoholic Anonymous.
That's okay, that's all they had back then. But it was painkillers.
Okay.
And so he's in there trying to get over it, and he doesn't want to be there, and he's cranky, and you're in the back row, and you're just so interesting that they tell you have to close your eyes.
Yes, I had to.
Because you were taking the attention away from him. Now, she wasn't doing anything. She's not like one of those extras that's like, I'm just going to get everybody's attention. she was just sitting there like,
They
oh,
shot that scene
I'm
3
I'm
times.
in this Alcoholics Anonymous thing. Let me really get into character. And they're like, you just need to be unconscious.
Yes, there were so many things that happened during this period that I thought was going to lead to something. And I basically think what it led to was a tremendous amount of wisdom, because I never...
You keep using that word. I don't think
You
that
think I
word
got any
means
wisdom out of that?
what you think it means.
I know I got to the place, one of the things was, there's some real bitch, can I use that word?
Yeah.
Bitchy people, and they would put the extras in what they would call the pen, like it was a cattle place, and you weren't supposed to come out unless they called you out. And so I'm like, well, there's only one thing you can do to me, and that's kick me off the lot. So I just walked out of the pen, walked down the street, and that's how I got to stand beside Robert Downey Jr. And then all of a sudden they needed a car, and they said, do you have a car? And I'm like, yeah, we need you to get your car and drive down the street in your car. I'm like, okay, I can do that.
Well, I know they had those pens in Atlanta too, because back when before we ever left Atlanta, I did the extra thing. And I ended up on the lap of I can't even remember who he was. But he found me cute, and he pulled me on his lap, and I'm sitting there, and then some crew person came over and was like, you can't do this. Okay.
I'm doing it.
And they called it a pen. And I remember when we were on the set of Speed, because you happened to wander into Hollywood on a day they were filming, I remember that Sandra Bullock was like, I will not film anything else unless you give these people water.
Yeah.
It's a crew thing that does this. It's not the actors.
But there were shows that I was on, and they would separate the extras from the stars at mealtime.
Oh,
And
I know.
You were an extra. You didn't get much of a variety of food. But then I was on sets where they had a craft table, and I got to eat anything I wanted to off the craft table.
Because not every set is full of
I know.
a-holes.
Yeah. Well, I can't remember which show it was, but...
I think it was that one with the hospital, wasn't it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember what it was, but it was like, what happened was no extras would work the job. That's how bad it was.
Oh.
And so they had to change.
Oh, that was ER. I remember.
Okay. All right.
That was definitely ER. They just got too big for their britches.
Yeah. They thought they knew how to save money.
Oh, I don't mind. Look, I actually don't mind the saving money part. Hey, here's what we're paying. Do you want to come over here? What I mind is then they treat you like cattle.
Yeah.
How about here is a small amount of money. And by the way, back then it was like $50 a day for 8 to 10 hours.
Half a day.
No, it was $50 a day for 8 to 10 hours.
I can go pull my check stubs.
That's fine. You only had to work half a day. They told you it was going to be $50, and they may or may not keep you that long. But it was $50 a day, and I don't mind that part because you're making a contract. I will work for this amount of money. But why they got to be mean to you? Why do they have to be like, we're going to degrade you also? We're going to pay you a little bit of money and then degrade you, and how dare you even look at the stars.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that's all about.
Different kinds of people doing different jobs.
All right, we're going to have one more, I think it's going to be one more episode, because next we have to get to the really dark time. I hope you join us. We all go through dark times, and some of our jobs after we left LA were less colorful than the one we just talked about. And Mom went down the dark hole of accounting in the medical system and the government system. And we're not Elon Musk, so we can't make things more efficient.
Yeah. And I'm sure y'all now aware also of the condition of our health care, so...
Oh, and we will have to circle back around to that time this guy wanted Mom to cook the books. But again, that'll be the next episode. Feel free to comment on what kind of crazy jobs you've had. Subscribe. Let us know what you think. Like. And we will catch you on the flip side.
Bye-bye.
We conquer our fears with dreams in our hearts and the world in our sight. We're beer grill skinny, ready